Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 2 of the DEA podcast with your hosts, Dylan Police, Anthony Fazio, and Adele Lara. We're here talking about QB for this week, and none other than Kirk Cousins putting up a staggering 2 touchdowns against the 49ers with a 31-point performance. What a week for him and the Redskins against the 49ers.
At running back, we had Melvin Gordon, the top performer for Week 6. He had 25 rushing attempts, only 83 yards and a rushing touchdown, but what really put him forward was the 9 receptions that he had, the 67 receiving yards, and he also had a receiving touchdown for a total of 35 points in a PPR league. He lit it up for my team and helped me get the dub.
At the wide receiver spot, we have the one and only Antonio Brown having 8 receptions, 155 yards, and a touchdown. He actually caught a ball off the defender's hands and then ran it 50 yards for a touchdown in the third quarter, making it a close game. But once again, we have Antonio Brown at the top spot for the wide receivers.
So now we're going to go through our waiver wire pickup for Week 6 going into Week 7. Myself is going to be Mike Williams out of Los Angeles now, the Chargers. He's coming off an injury. He hasn't played yet. He played one game last week. He's slowly getting into the role. He had, I think it was 1 catch for like 15 yards. But even the fact that he's getting involved is a good sign. I picked him up a while ago just to stash him. If he's available in the league, I would scoop him. Just keep your high hopes up for him.
For my waiver wire pickup, I have Gillis Lee, wide receiver from the Jacksonville Jags. With Al Robinson going down early in the season with a torn ACL, I think Marquise is becoming a big role, and I think he's on pace for maybe 1,000 yards receiving on the season, maybe a little less, but him and Allen Hurns are the 2 receivers for that team, and they'll probably make a big impact this week.
I'm going to start out by saying my cut for the week, as is Aaron Rodgers breaking his collarbone, which for all Packers fans is really a tearjerker for a Super Bowl run. However, the waiver wire pickup is none other than Brett Hundley from UCLA. He's got the tools and intangibles in order to become a successful quarterback in this league, and don't be surprised to see the Packers 12-4. That's all I'm saying here.
I think your hopes are a little high, Adele, but we'll roll with it. My cut of the week is going to be Mike Gillis Lee. His volume's been going down ever since his first 2 weeks. I think he had 20-plus point games for 2 weeks straight, and then it just went down tremendously. Last week, he had a fumble in like his second carry, and he got taken out of the game, and he was essentially benched for the rest of the game. So Deion Lewis ended up taking over most of the carries for that game. But yeah, that's why I'm cutting Mike Gillis Lee. He's not much more to look forward to for him.
My cut for the week is Terrell Pryor. Coming from the Browns, I was hoping he would have maybe a big year receiving for 1,000 yards on the Browns, but he's been doing nothing good whatsoever for the Redskins. I think he only has 1 touchdown in 6 games. Hasn't received for over 100 yards in the game yet. He's just not performing the way I want, so he's been a big cut for the week. And then my sleeper for the week is Sterling Shepard, wide receiver for the Giants. With Brandon Marshall and Odell possibly both being out for the year, Sterling Shepard's going to fill that number 1 role. So he's going to be pretty big picking him up on waiver wires and stuff like that. It's going to be he'll be a pretty good fill for wide receiver 2s probably, but that's my sleeper for the week.
Sleeper for the week is none other than Mr. All Day, Adrian Peterson. As last week, he had 26 carries, 134 yards, and 2 touchdowns with a 25-point performance. He's looking like the AP of old. I'm talking about Vikings AP, and I think that he's going to be a successful running back of the season, and don't be surprised if he hits the 1,000-yard mark by the end of the season.
Yeah, going along with that AP, he comes to the Cardinals. It's the worst rushing team in the league right now, and his first carry as a Cardinal was a 75-yard touchdown, so I think that's a good sign for Cardinals fans and for AP if he's on your team. But my sleeper of the week is going to be Austin Seferian-Jenkins. He's been pretty quiet this season, but the last 2 games he's had 1 touchdown in each of the last 2 games, and 4+ receptions in each of the last 4 games. This upcoming week he's going to be playing Miami. They let up double-digit points in 3 of the last 5 games, so you could expect to have a big game from Austin Seferian-Jenkins if he's in your lineup.
Now we have a special guest, Gabe DeVello, and we're going to help him set his lineup for the week and hopefully get him a win. I'm not really sure who he's playing this week, but we're gonna see how he's doing.
All right, Gabe, so tell us a little about your team name, some of your star players, and some questions you have for us for this week.
My team name is the Brady Bunch, obviously meaning I have Tom Brady as my quarterback. My running back 1 is Devontae Freeman this year. I also got DeAndre Hopkins in the wide receiver 1 spot. I got Emmanuel Sanders in the wide receiver 2 spot, but he got hurt. What do you guys think I should do this week for that?
What I was thinking was you could maybe move Dante Moncrief to wide receiver 2 and then have LeGarrette Blount playing the Redskins at flex. It's probably your best option. Robbie Anderson's not a bad start, a little shaky, and Taylor Gabriel really doesn't get that many receptions against Julio and Mohamed Sanu with him. So, I mean, what I would do is move LeGarrette Blount to the flex and Moncrief to the 2.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that's probably your best bet. Blount against the Redskins at home isn't really a bad matchup at all. He should get you 10-plus points. He's been getting a lot of volume, and he's easily the Eagles' #1 running back.
I have to agree with Dylan Fazio in this circumstance, as LeGarrette Blount's been very consistent all year, very hard runner, always loves to get his nose bloody, and I think it's an easy 15 points for this week if you start him, so it's no denying that.
So does that mean you're guaranteeing 15 points from LeGarrette Blount at all?
I'm guaranteeing 15 points and an Eagles win for the week.
All right, I'd like to hear the last part.
I can get you the 15 points on a win.
The 15 points, it might be a little bit of a reach. I wouldn't be expecting 15. But that about wraps it up for our episode 2 of DEA Sports Talk. I hope to see you next week and answer some more fantasy questions for you.